Well, as food continues to be a major cost for families, we've enlisted the help of local home economist Jodie Kachkar for tips and tricks on how to bring down that grocery bill. Today, we're talking meal planning, which is such an interesting conversation, Jodie, because I think most people know it's a good idea, but then putting it into practice can be tricky. So that's where you come in. What's one of the first things that you do in meal planning?
I take a look at my calendar.
Okay.
Because I need to know if, like, do I have a night where I'm not going to make it home for dinner? Or it's like I need to get home, eat, and then out the door for, a certain time. So I look at my calendar, and I'm looking for pinch points where it's like, actually, no one's home for dinner tonight, so it doesn't matter. So I do that, and then I write out, this is my dinner book right here, and I actually use this. Like, I didn't make this up for TV.
No, I can tell. That's well worn.
And I write down like the days of the week, and anything that what am I pulling out of the freezer? If there's any points where I'm going to be out. Tuesday night soup night at my house because it's a busy night, and we have people coming and going. And then I start putting meals in.
Okay. That's where you start.
And that's where I start.
Now then, when it goes to the grocery store, what's your advice for you've got your ideas, making sure that you're efficiently going to the grocery store and not forgetting something?
Make a list. But like use an app, right?
Okay.
So when I had a teenager at home, nothing drove me more crazy when I rolled in the door and he's like, "Oh, I needed deodorant." I was like, "Oh, that would have been really helpful to know, an hour ago." So my husband and I and my stepson used to have a common list app that everyone could add stuff to.
Interesting. Great.
And that worked really well so that I didn't have to remember to put it on because it wasn't my thing. So if it was something that you wanted, you put it on the list and it will show up on my app.
Okay, that sounds like a great idea. Now, how often are you doing this process? Is this like a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening thing, or how often are you going through the meal planning process?
I do it on a weekly basis because that's how far I can think ahead. I can't. There are some people, I have a colleague that does this by the month, and I'm like, wow, I bow down to you. But I can't get it together that far, and produce doesn't last that long. So I do it on a weekly basis, and I start on a Sunday afternoon, what's the next week going to look like, and then I start making the list, checking what I already have. Anything that I want to use up, like I sort of, do a bit of a temperature check in my fridge. What do I want to use up?
Yeah.
And then I start making a list. Now, I order my groceries online. I do not set foot into a grocery store because the more times you go in, the more likely you are to spend more, buy more things that you maybe didn't need to buy.
Sure, and that's part of the process in the grocery store. They're trying to get you to buy more.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They're there to make money and sell you potato chips.
Exactly.
So if you would like to make sure that your money stays in your pocket, then don't go in the store.
Okay. Now, what would you say for people who just say, I just don't have time to figure all this stuff out?
Pick 3 meals.
Okay.
Order groceries for 3 dinners for a week and just fit them in. Just do that.
Okay.
Just do that.
Now, I want to bring this over because we were showing this earlier where this was on your fridge. This is from your actual fridge.
This is from my actual fridge. I have this. Because I live with a multi-generation family, there's a lot of interest on what's for dinner. I swear my father never missed a meal in his life, but very concerned about what is for dinner.
Okay, great.
So this is what is for dinner. Now, it does change now and again, and I write things on it that's like, Jodie's out this night, so, heads up, dinner will be late, all of these kinds of things, and this lives on my fridge.
Okay, this is great. And it's dry erase for a reason.
Yep.
You can start it all again.
Yeah, so
that is good
fridge.
stuff. A little planning goes a long way.
It does.
Jodie, thanks for this. This is bolstering some confidence for us to get it done. If you want to share this interview with a friend who's looking to save money on the grocery bill, it will be posted on our website. You can just go to ctvnewsedmonton.ca a little bit later on and spread the good word.